Have you ever dreamed of living a life that is completely free of rules? Well, if so, then you might just be a bohemian at heart. Bohemianism is a social and cultural movement that has, at its core, a way of life away from society's conventional norms and expectations. The term originates from the French bohème and spread to the English-speaking world. It was used to describe mid-19th century non-traditional lifestyles, especially of artists, writers, journalists, musicians, and actors in major European cities. Most commonly, it refers to a person whose behavior and attitude towards life rejects the conventions of society and instead emphasizes personal freedom, creativity, and an unconventional lifestyle. Today we will look into what Bohemian means, the history behind it, and how it infiltrated the art scene in America. So make sure to watch the video till the end. But before we start, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for upcoming videos. What is Bohemian? How does it relate to art? Bohemian is a 19th century historical and literary topos that places the milieu of young metropolitan artists and intellectuals, particularly those of the Latin Quarter in Paris, in a context of poverty, hunger, and appreciation of friendship, idealization of art, and contempt for money. Based on this topos, the most diverse real-world subcultures are often referred to as bohemian, in a figurative sense, especially, but by no means exclusively, if they show traits of a precariat. The term bohemian came to prominence with the rise of Romanticism, which emphasized imagination, emotion, and individualism over reason and logic. Bohemianism became associated with a lifestyle that celebrated creativity, freedom, and nonconformity, often involving poverty and unconventional behavior. This was particularly true of the artistic bohemians of the 19th century, such as writers, painters, and musicians who lived in poverty while pursuing their art. In fact, bohemianism has been a common feature of many artistic movements throughout history. For example, the Beat generation of the 1950s rejected mainstream American values and embraced a bohemian lifestyle that celebrated nonconformity, personal liberation, and the exploration of new experiences through travel, drugs, and unconventional relationships. Similarly, the hippie counterculture of the 1960s rejected material possessions and conventional lifestyles in favor of spiritual exploration, peace, and love. A bohemian lifestyle can manifest itself in various ways, such as an interest in alternative forms of spirituality, a rejection of materialism and consumerism, a commitment to environmental sustainability, a desire for meaningful work that contributes to society, and a focus on personal growth and self-discovery rather than external success. In essence, bohemianism is a philosophy that encourages individuals to live authentically, creatively, and in harmony with their values, even if it means going against societal norms and expectations. Who coined the term bohemian? Although it is often associated with a particular style of artistic expression, the origins of bohemianism are actually quite complex, and the term itself was not coined by a single individual. Instead, it evolved gradually over time. Its roots can be traced back to the mid-19th century in Paris, France. During this time, the city was home to a large population of artists, writers, and intellectuals who lived and worked in the Bohemian district known as the Latin Quarter. These bohemians were typically characterized by their unconventional lifestyles, poverty, and dedication to their art. As the bohemian lifestyle became more prominent in Paris, the term began to spread to other parts of Europe and eventually to the United States. However, it wasn't until the early 20th century that bohemianism was widely recognized as a distinct cultural movement. During this time, several key figures helped to popularize the term and its associated values and attitudes. One of these individuals was writer Gertrude Stein, who was a prominent member of the Lost Generation, a group of American writers who lived in Paris in the aftermath of World War I. Stein's salon was a gathering place for bohemians, and she played a significant role in promoting the movement's values of creativity, freedom, and nonconformity. Another key figure was artist and writer Charles Demuth, who was part of the Ashcan School, a group of American artists who depicted the everyday life of working-class people in New York City. Demuth's paintings and writings celebrated the beauty and dignity of everyday life, and he was a strong advocate of the Bohemian ideal of living authentically. Mark Twain included himself and Charles Warren Stoddard in the Bohemian category in 1867. Bohemian is a 19th century historical and literary topos that places the milieu of young metropolitan artists and intellectuals, particularly those of the Latin Quarter in Paris, in a context of poverty, hunger, appreciation of friendship, idealization of art, and contempt for money. Based on this topos, the most diverse real-world subcultures are often referred to as Bohemian in a figurative sense, especially, but by no means exclusively, if they show traits of a precariat. By 1872, when a group of journalists and artists who gathered regularly for cultural pursuits in San Francisco were casting about for a name, the term Bohemian became the main choice, and the Bohemian Club was born. How did Bohemian infiltrate the art scene in America? Bohemianism found fertile ground in America during the mid-19th century when the country was rapidly industrializing and urbanizing. Many young people were drawn to the cities where they could escape the constraints of small-town life and pursue their artistic and intellectual interests. San Francisco, with its thriving literary and artistic community, became a hub for Bohemians. The Bohemian Club, founded in 1872, was one of the first organizations to embrace this lifestyle. Initially, the club's members were mostly journalists and artists who enjoyed the company of others who shared their passion for the arts. However, as the club grew, its membership became more diverse and included successful businessmen and politicians. This shift in membership did not diminish the club's bohemian character, but rather enhanced it. The members redefined their own form of bohemianism to include people like them who were bon vivants, sportsmen, and appreciators of the fine arts. They continued to value creativity, freedom, and a nonconformist lifestyle, but now they could do so from a position of privilege and power. One of the key features of Bohemian culture is its emphasis on creativity and self-expression. Bohemian artists often experiment with new forms and styles, pushing the boundaries of traditional art. This spirit of experimentation and innovation has had a lasting impact on American art, particularly in the areas of literature, music, and visual arts. For example, the Beats, a literary movement that emerged in the 1950s, were heavily influenced by Bohemian values. Beat writers such as Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg rejected the conformity and materialism of American society and instead embraced a life of travel, freedom, and self-discovery. Their writings celebrated the counterculture of the time and explored themes of nonconformity, spirituality, and the search for meaning in an increasingly secular world. Bohemianism also had a profound impact on American music. Jazz, blues, and rock and roll all have roots in the Bohemian culture of the early 20th century. These musical genres celebrated the energy and excitement of urban life and often featured themes of love, loss, freedom, and rebellion. Musicians such as Louis Armstrong, Muddy Waters, and Elvis Presley embodied the spirit of Bohemianism in their music, which continues to influence artists today. In addition, Bohemian values have influenced American visual arts, theater, and film. The Ashken School of Artists, for example, captured the gritty reality of urban life in their paintings, while playwrights like Tennessee Williams and Arthur Miller explored themes of alienation and social injustice. Filmmakers such as John Cassavetes and Andy Warhol pushed the boundaries of cinematic expression and challenged traditional storytelling techniques. Throughout American history, Bohemianism has been a powerful force in shaping the country's cultural landscape. From the Beats to jazz musicians, visual artists, and filmmakers, countless individuals have embraced the values of creativity, freedom, and self-expression that define this cultural movement. As long as there are people who value art and reject conformity, Bohemianism will continue to thrive in America. Now let us look at some of the DIY Bohemian art projects and styles. Bohemian art projects and styles encompass a wide range of creative expressions that reflect the free-spirited, nonconformist, and eclectic nature of Bohemian culture. These art forms often prioritize creativity, individuality, and a connection to nature over strict adherence to artistic conventions or commercial success. One popular Bohemian art project is creating mandalas, which are intricate geometric designs that have been used in various spiritual and cultural traditions for centuries. Creating mandalas can be a meditative and transformative experience for both the artist and the observer, allowing for a sense of flow and connection to something greater than oneself. Another popular Bohemian art project is making dreamcatchers, which are decorative objects believed to filter out bad dreams and bring good dreams to those who sleep under them. Dreamcatchers can be made using a variety of materials such as feathers, beads, yarn, and leather, and each one is unique and personalized to the maker's preferences. Macrame is another Bohemian art form that involves tying knots to create intricate patterns and textures in textiles. Macrame can be used to create wall hangings, plant hangers, jewelry, and other decorative items. The process of creating macrame pieces is itself a form of meditation and relaxation, allowing the artist to focus on the present moment and the tactile sensations of working with the materials. In addition to these popular art projects, Bohemians often engage in a variety of other creative pursuits, such as painting, drawing, sculpting, photography, music, and dance. Bohemian artists are often inspired by nature, spirituality, social justice, and the human condition. They may use their art to express their personal experiences, connect with others who share their values, and make a positive impact on the world around them. Overall, Bohemian art projects and styles offer a way for individuals to connect with their creativity, explore their spirituality, and make a unique contribution to the world. By embracing these art forms, Bohemians can express their individuality, connect with others, and make a positive impact on the world around them. We hope you liked this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you did like it, go check out our other videos and see Kelly BOHO up this fabulous table. Thank you for watching.